Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Nissan Kicks. This is an SR all-wheel drive. It features the premium package, cold weather package. There's some interior lights along with the 19-inch wheels, bringing the MSRP up to just shy of $35,000. This particular model is also finished off in Canyon Bronze Metallic. And we'll start off with what this is powered by. Underneath the hood, you will find the 2-liter 4-cylinder. This is paired to the CVT transmission, and it pumps out 141 horsepower, 140 pound-feet of torque. Weighs in around 3,200 pounds. 0 to 60 is going to be around 9 seconds. And as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking at 27 in the city and 34 out on the highway. Now, as far as all the options go, there's really nothing on the exterior aside from the wheels. This does, however, get the 360 camera system, so you'll notice the camera up front with the white and gray Nissan badge. There's gloss black for the entire upper grille, where the DRLs are also nicely integrated into those trim accents. Turn signal is above that, and then there's that quad beam design for the headlights and high beams that are a dark housing to match the gloss black. There's also parking sensors up front, and there's a sensor for the distance pacing and all of that technology. You'll notice the bumper is finished in plastic with a really neat, intricate design stamped in that lower section. You'll notice that makes its way to the lower side skirts too, where there is more plastic. It's on the fender arches as well. There's the gray 19-inch wheels. There's some brushed accents in the lower section as well, and then a camera and a turn signal with gloss black accents for the mirrors. You'll notice Kicks is also stamped in the base there. Now there's more gloss black for the window trim, there's brushed trim in the upper section, there's roof racks, and then the full moonroof too, which is a part of that premium package. And then there's a crisp line running just above the height of the door handles all the way to this back fender, which has a great look to it, meeting that top point of the taillights in back. Now there's also a third brake light up top, wiper blade in the lower section, LEDs for all of the lighting, and then a backup camera and parking sensors. Now this does have remote start, so you can use the key fob for that just by locking it and holding on this upper button. So you can use this tech feature as needed, and then you can hold on that button as well to shut it off. Now this does not have a power lift gate, so you do have the release underneath, and then you can open it up from there. Now, even though this is a smaller vehicle, there's actually a good bit of space. You'll notice too, there's some hidden storage under the floor with all of these bins, perfect for groceries or other smaller items. There's tie-down hooks too, and then you can even reach the back seats to fold them down. So you can quickly do that. There's also space for a cover if you need to use that. And it's a very lightweight liftgate, so it makes it easy to close. Now, as we work our way to the interior, it is currently locked, so you can push on this button up front, and then you do have to unlock the rear, or of course use the key fob. Door panel is pretty simple. You have room for a drink, this trim accent surrounding the window control, and then as you can tell, the seats fold pretty much flat, so it gives you a nice opening into the back, and then there's this intricate pattern running down the insert for these seats. Kicks is also on the door sill there. And then at 5'10", I have a good bit of space. There's a storage pocket, auxiliaries in the middle, and then there's also the armrest and cup holders. Now, surprisingly, I have about 2 inches of headroom, so you'll notice the headliner actually goes up, giving you plenty of headspace. You could be slightly taller than me and still fit in the back. So for a smaller vehicle, it's packaged very nicely. You'll notice there's the window controls, side mirror adjustments, this carbon fiber-like fabric with the dual stitching there. Kicks is up front, and then this does have manually adjusting front seats. Height, recline, incline, and the bar to slide them forwards and backwards. Now the engine start-stop button is located down below there. There's the leather steering wheel. On the right side, all the cruise control settings along with Bluetooth and voice commands. On the left side, there's tuning, volume, and then you have these controls to go through the digital gauge cluster. Now for the current layout, I'm just going to start going left, and you can go through all of this information here. You have a few pages that you can scroll up or down, just depending on the info that you need to see. And then you can also get into your shortcuts with this button and change your meter view. So now you can bring up everything in full screen, where you have this as your home screen, and then you can go through all of the info that I just showed. So your miles per hour tach is going to be minimized, and you can pull everything up in a larger view, just depending on what you would like to see and how you want to view this information. So it's nice that you have those settings quickly available. Now on the left, heated steering wheel, steering assist, interior lighting. There's one air vent, and then you have brightness for the gauge cluster, so you can easily adjust that. For the infotainment system, you have these widgets. You can add some as needed, and then you have shortcuts on this left side. So you can get into your music, you can also get into your phone when that is paired, and then the last one is going to provide you with these icons like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have My Q Garage. You can get into some settings to set the vehicle up as needed. So you can go through all of these depending on what works for you best. Now in the lower section, you'll notice there's shortcuts to get into the heated steering wheel, heated seats, temperature adjustments for driver and passenger, or you can push in the middle and bring up the climates all in one on the full screen there. Now there's more of the carbon fiber fabric, volume in the middle, there's tuning, and you do have a shortcut to the camera system. So if the vehicle is in park, you can push on this a few times to pull up several angles. Of course, you can put it into reverse and bring up that camera angle. Once you flip to drive, you do have to push on that camera button again, and now you have the forward-facing angle. There is also a long-range gear, so you can use that as needed. There's wireless charging, auxiliaries, auto hold, e-brake, and then you have a few different driving modes. So you can go through these 4 depending on how you need the all-wheel drive system to work. You have a lot of storage where the cup holders are, an auxiliary and the armrest. There's also plenty of storage in the glove box. Garage door buttons. There's also the sunglass holder, dome lights, and controls for both the sunroof and sunshade. And then here's a look at visibility, where it's pretty easy to see over both shoulders. With the vehicle still in sport mode, paddle to the floor, here we go. And we are up to speed. Now it's worth noting too, we do have a few different driving modes. When you put it into sport, the RPM jumps slightly. You will get better throttle response, and you can go all the way to eco, where it's going to give you less throttle response. You can still get up and give it some juice, but you will have to step on it a little bit more. That's just to help with fuel economy, so that way you're not punching the gas as much as you would in sport mode. So it's nice that those are functional depending on how you'd like to drive. And this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Nissan Kicks. This is a really solid interior. For the price, you're definitely getting a nice vehicle. There's some plastic up top, but you do have some of the soft touch materials and all of the stitching too that covers a majority of them, just to give it a more upscale look. And then even with this carbon fiber material, that's also a neat accent to see. It is just some fabric, but it gives it more of a sporty look too. And as far as handling goes, taking it through some of these twisties here at a normal speed, with it being a low vehicle, it will have a low center of gravity, low roofline too, so it handled those pretty well. It's not a vehicle to take competitively, of course, around some corners, but you can take this on some back roads and just have a confident, smaller vehicle that will get you through those situations. So it'd make for a great road tripping vehicle if you're out on some back roads, wherever you're going to some remote areas. It's definitely a comfortable place to drive and be in every single day. Like I said, seating position is also really good. The steering wheel is manual, so you do have that adjustment down on the side. And then just a comfortable, smaller vehicle to daily. So if you are looking for a vehicle that's going to be economical and still practical, this is definitely a great option to go with. And for a brand new vehicle for $35,000 or less, depending on the trim level that you go with, seems to be a really good option with several different color options to go with, a few interior options that you can choose from. You have quite a lot. You can get this for under $30,000, and you have a lot of nice options for this smaller economical style SUV. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Nissan Kicks. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.